Here we have the CFR 960 Bale processor. Have the machine parked on level ground, the rear forks raised with the transport lock installed. Disconnect the tractor. When feed chopper option is installed, the rear sheave will need to be removed. Open the rear axis panel. Remove the belt from the pulley. Remove the 1/2 inch bolt from the center of the large pulley along with the washers and spacer. Slide the large pulley off of the shaft. Pulley assembly is fairly heavy, so some assistance may be required. Remove spacer from shaft that is behind the pulley assembly. Loosen the 2 set screws that are in the bearing collar which supports the rear drum shaft. Moving to the front of the machine, the feed rollers are in a slotted hole. To remove the drum front plate, we need to slide the rollers upwards in the slot and support them in a raised position. Here we use a ratchet strap and support it to a cross member on the front screen. Remove the 2 3/8 bolts from the hose holder bracket and place to the side. You may want to tie it to the sidewall as well. Remove the 2 5/8 bolts from the drive line and slide the drive line off of the gearbox. Mark the location of the feed roller adjustment lugs and then remove them. This is a 3/4 inch bolt. With a lifting device, take the weight off of the drum. From the inside of the tub, measure to the center of the drum for a lift point, so that the gearbox and plate can be removed. Once the weight is off the drum, remove the gearbox by removing the 6 lock nuts which are located on the front of the gearbox. Once the gearbox is removed, grab the front drum plate, turn clockwise and pull to the front. While the drum is still lifted, slide the drum ahead so that it is released from the rear bearing. There may be a spacer on the rear shaft. If so, this will be reused on the new drum. Place a material under the rear of the drum. Here we are using a glove. Lower the drum onto the glove. Disconnect the lifting device and reattach around the front of the drum. Slide the drum out of the hole until the center of the drum can be located. The flails will interfere with the tub wall as the drum is being removed, so move the flails with a longer tool to avoid finger pinching. Set the drum down onto the hitch and relift from the center of the drum and continue to remove. The new drum will have come with the flails wrapped up to allow easier installation. The longer shaft is towards the rear of the machine. Slide the rear spacer on the shaft if the original drum had it. Lift the drum in the center and slide back through the hole until the strap is close to the tub wall. Set the drum down on the hitch and on the glove inside the tub. Reattach and lift at the front of the drum and continue to slide the drum towards the rear of the machine until the rear shaft is close to the rear wall. Reattach and lift on the center of the drum. Place anti-seize on both rear and front shafts. Slide the rear shaft through the rear bearing. Slide the front plate onto the front wall. Rotate counterclockwise to lock plate into position. Reinstall the feed roller adjustment lugs to the previous marked places. Release the feed rollers down to the operating positions. Slide gearbox onto the 6 bolts on the front plate and fasten with lock nuts and washers. Reattach the hose holder and tighten. Cut and remove the wrap from the drum at this point. Tighten the 2 set screws on the rear bearing to the shaft with the use of blue Loctite. Place spacer onto the shaft. Slide the rear sheave assembly onto the shaft and place another spacer and washer with bolt back into the shaft. Red Loctite could be used on this bolt. Reinstall the belt and check for alignment. Close the shield and latch. Place anti-seize onto the gearbox shaft and slide the PTO drive line onto the shaft. Reinstall the bolts and tighten.